In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways bad credit is quietly ruining your life. And I'm talking about ways you probably don't even realize. We're going to break down exactly how much money bad credit is costing you, what financial opportunities you're missing out on, and why even if things feel fine right now, your credit is quietly shrinking your future. If this is your first time here on this channel, my name is James Jang. I help everyday people repair their credit, get funded, and stop playing defense with their money. That's exactly what we do every day at Limitless Financial Solutions, where we've helped over 1,300 plus clients achieve an 800 plus credit score and build real, long-lasting financial freedom. So without further ado, let's get into it. Look, many people with bad credit think it's just about getting denied for loans or credit cards. They think, yeah, my credit's not great, but I'm getting by. And you see, that's the problem. You're just getting by, but you're losing thousands of dollars in the process and you don't even realize it. Bad credit isn't just inconvenient, it's expensive, it's limiting, and it's quietly creating a financial ceiling that you cannot break through, which leads to paying more for everything: cars, homes, and even insurance. It leads to getting stuck with terrible loan terms that absolutely drain your income. It leads to missing out on opportunities that could completely change your financial situation. You're falling behind people with better credit. You're missing on opportunities to invest and build wealth, and you're unable to move fast when life demands it. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 ways bad credit is costing you, not just in money, but in time, opportunities, and most importantly, your future. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why fixing your credit isn't optional if you actually want to develop long-term financial freedom. Now, before we get into this, I need to address something. A lot of people think, I don't really need good credit. I pay cash for everything. Or my credit's bad, but it doesn't really affect me that much. So I'll just wait 7 years for everything to fall off of my credit report and it'll fix itself. Here's the reality. If you think bad credit is just a minor inconvenience, you're wrong. And I'm not saying that to be harsh. I'm saying it because most people genuinely don't understand how much bad credit is costing them until it's too late. Bad credit doesn't just affect you when you apply for a loan. It affects you every single day in ways you don't even see. It's quietly draining your income, limiting your options, and shrinking your future. And waiting 7 years? I mean, that's 7 years of paying more for everything, 7 years of missing opportunities, 7 years of your life on complete hold. And here's the thing, let's do some simple math on what waiting 7 years actually costs you. If you're paying an extra $200 per month on a car loan because of bad credit, that's $16,800 over the course of 7 years. If you're paying an extra $150 a month on insurance because of bad credit, that's an extra $12,600 over the course of 7 years. And if you're paying just an extra $100 per month in higher interest on credit cards, that's $8,400 over the course of 7 years. Just those 3 things alone, that's $37,800 you're losing over 7 years by waiting instead of fixing it now. And that's not even counting the bigger stuff: the mortgage that you didn't qualify for, the business loan that you couldn't get, and the investment opportunity that you had to pass on, and much, much more. 7 years of your life on hold isn't necessarily free. It's costing you tens of thousands, possibly even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you're here thinking, my credit's not that bad, or I don't really need to fix it, I need you to stick with me through the end of this video, because what I'm about to show you is going to change how you think about credit completely. All right, point number 1. Bad credit is costing you thousands of dollars, and you probably don't even realize that it's happening. Here's what most people don't understand. Credit doesn't just determine whether you get approved or denied. Credit determines how expensive your entire life is. So let me explain what I mean. 2 people buy the same exact car. Same make, same model, and same year. One person has a 750 credit score, the other person has a 550 credit score. They're both buying a $30,000 car. The person with a 750 credit score gets approved for a loan at 4% interest. Their monthly payment is about $550, and over the course of 5 years, they'll pay about $33,000 total. So that's about $3,000 in interest. The person with a 550 credit score, they get approved, but at an 18% interest rate. Their monthly payment is $760, and over 5 years, they'll pay $45,600 total. That's $15,600 in interest. Same car, same loan, same amount. But the person with bad credit just paid $12,600 more for the same exact vehicle. That's an extra $210 per month, every single month, for 5 months. That's money that could have gone into savings, investments, or building long-term wealth. But instead, it went straight to interest, all because of bad credit. And here's the thing. You might be thinking, all right, but James, that's just one car loan. No, this applies for everything. Mortgages, a $250,000 mortgage at a 3.5% interest rate versus a 6.5% interest rate is a difference of over $100,000 over the lifetime of the loan. Personal loans, credit cards, business loans, every single time you borrow money, bad credit makes it more expensive. And it's not just loans. Even insurance companies use credit scores to determine your rates. So if you have bad credit, you're paying more for car insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance, everything. Bad credit makes your life more expensive all across the board. You're paying more every single month without even realizing it. And over time, it adds up to tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're losing because your credit score is too low. Now, a thought that might have crossed your mind is, well, all right, James, then I just won't take out loans. I'll pay cash for everything. And look, I respect the mindset, but here's the problem with that. Paying cash for everything means that you're tying up all of your hard-earned money into depreciating assets instead of using leverage to build wealth. People with good credit can take out a low-interest loan, keep their cash invested in earning returns, and come out way ahead. With bad credit, you're forced to drain your savings to buy things outright, which leaves you with no emergency fund, no investment capital, and no financial flexibility. So point number one, bad credit is expensive. It's costing you thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars, and most people never actually sit down to calculate how much they're losing. All right, point number two, bad credit doesn't just control whether you get approved or denied. It controls the options you even have access to in the first place. Now, here's what I mean by that. Most people think that credit is very binary. It's either yes, you get approved or no, you don't. But that's not actually how it works. When you have bad credit, you don't just get denied more often. You get trapped into a system that forces you into worse deals with worse terms and lenders who know you have no other options. So let me give you a prime example. Let's say you need a car and you have a 580 credit score. You walk into the dealership and they run your credit. Okay, sure, you get approved. Great, right? But here's the caveat. You didn't get approved by a mainstream lender. You got approved by what we call a subprime lender, which is a lender that specializes in high-risk borrowers. And because they know that you have limited options, they'll give you terrible terms, 18% interest, and in some cases, maybe even 25% interest or above. And you may also have to put down a massive down payment at the time of signing to mitigate liability. And let's not forget the strict penalties if you ever miss just one payment. Meanwhile, somebody with a 700 or an 800 credit score walks into the same dealership, they have access to 5 different lenders competing and begging for their business. They choose the best rate, the best terms, and the best deals. And they have negotiating power. You don't. You take what you're offered because it's the only option that you have. And this doesn't just apply for car loans. It applies for absolutely everything. You're renting an apartment? Well, the landlord is going to run your credit. And if it's bad, you either get denied or you have to pay a higher security deposit, sometimes even 2 to 3 times the amount someone with good credit paid. You might have to get a cosign. You might get stuck in a lower quality housing section because the nicer places won't approve you. I mean, the list goes on. And what about buying a house? Forget about getting approved for a conventional mortgage with bad credit. You're stuck with an FHA loan that requires higher fees, or worse, you're dealing with predatory lenders that will absolutely take complete advantage of you. Starting a business? Good luck with getting a business loan or a business credit card with bad credit. You're forced to self-fund everything, which limits how fast you can scale and grow. See, bad credit doesn't just say no to you. It says yes, but only to these terrible options that we know you'll take because you're desperate. It creates a cycle where you're always going to be settling instead of choosing. You're not making decisions based on what's best for you. You're making decisions based on what you can get approved for. And that's what keeps you at a flat line, and that's what keeps you stuck. So, point number 2, bad credit doesn't just limit approvals, it limits your options. It traps you in worse deals, and it takes away your negotiating power. You're not playing the same game as people with good credit. You're playing a rigged version of the game where the odds are completely stacked against you. Now, everything I'm covering in this video is showing you the real costs of bad credit, not just the obvious stuff, but the hidden ways that it's really holding you back. And look, if you're watching this video and you're realizing, okay, I actually need to fix this, my expert team and I work with people hands-on to repair their credit, remove negative remarks, and boost their credit scores by 50 to 200 plus points so that they can stop settling and start choosing. If that's something you're interested in, smash the first link in the description, which will open up a conversation with me personally on Instagram and we'll chat to see if it makes sense for us to work together. But let's keep going because there's so much more that you need to understand. Point number 3, bad credit delays the major life moves you want to make. And I'm not talking about weeks and months, I'm talking about years. Here's what happens. You're ready to take the next step in your life. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to move to a new city and rent a nicer place. Or maybe you just want to buy a more reliable car so you can stop stressing about the constant check engine lights and the breakdown. You have the income, you have the down payment saved, and you're ready. But then you apply and you get hit with reality. Your credit score isn't high enough. So you get denied. Or maybe you get approved. But once again, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting approved on terms that are so bad, you can't even afford it and the loan doesn't even make sense. Then you realize that if you just wait 6 months, fix your credit, you could save over $10,000. So you decide, you know what, I'll hold off. And 6 months turns into a year turns into 2 years, 2 years turns into 3. And now the opportunity that you were ready for is far gone. Or the market has changed, or life has just moved on and you're still stuck in the same place. I see this all the time. People make good money, 100, 130, 200 grand a year, but they can't move forward with anything because their credit is holding them back. They can't buy a house even though they can comfortably afford the monthly mortgage payment because no lender will actually approve them with a 550 credit score. So they're stuck renting and throwing away $25, $35, or even $4,500 a month on rent instead of building real equity in a home. They can't get a business loan even though they have a great business idea and the necessary skill sets to execute it because their credit score is too low. So their business never really gets off the ground and running or grows way slower than it should because they're bootstrapping everything. When it comes to vehicles, they can't lease a decent car, even though they need a reliable source of transportation for work. So they're stuck driving a 15-year-old car that constantly breaks down and costs hundreds of dollars in repairs every few months. And here's the worst part. While they're waiting for their credit to improve, life keeps happening. Opportunities pass by and other people are moving forward. And the gap between where they are and where they want to be just keeps on getting wider. Bad credit doesn't just delay progress, it compounds the delay. Because every single month that you're stuck with bad credit is another month that you're not building equity, you're not building wealth, and you're not taking advantage of opportunities. And let me get into emergencies, because this is where bad credit absolutely crushes families in America. Let's say you have a medical emergency, or your car breaks down, and you need $2,000 for repairs, or you lose your job and you need to cover expenses for a few months while you find something new. If you have good credit, you have options. You can get a personal loan at a reasonable rate, you can use a credit card with 0% or low intro APR, you can get approved for a line of credit that covers the gap. You have a financial safety net, essentially. If you have bad credit, you have no safety net. You can't get approved for a loan, you can't get a decent credit card, and your only options are payday loans at 400% interest, borrowing money from friends and family, or going on without doing anything, which actually makes the emergency even worse. Bad credit doesn't just delay your dreams. It makes you vulnerable when life hits you with something unexpected. When you have a family dependent on you, that vulnerability is terrifying. So point number 3, bad credit delays major life moves, sometimes by years, and it even leaves you exposed when emergencies happen. You're ready to move forward, but your credit is holding you back. And every day that passes is a day you're falling further behind. All right. Point number 4, bad credit increases your stress and your financial instability in ways you might not even realize. Here's the thing about credit. When it's strong, it acts as a safety net. It gives you flexibility. It gives you options. It gives you breathing room. But when it's weak, you're walking on a tight rope without a net. And that creates constant underlying stress that affects every financial decision you make. So let me go ahead and paint you a picture. You have bad credit. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Not because you don't make enough money, but because you're paying more for everything. Higher interest rates, higher insurance premiums, higher deposits. And then something happens. Your car breaks down. Your kid needs something for school. You have an unexpected medical bill. Nothing catastrophic. These are just everyday life things happening. But because you have bad credit, you have no options to cover it. You can't get a loan. You can't get a credit card. You can't tap into a line of credit. You're just stuck. So what do? You start scrambling. Maybe you ask friends and family to borrow some money, if they have it, that is. You skip out on other bills just to cover this one, or you take out a payday loan that charges you 400% interest and traps you in a debt cycle for years to come. And again, worst of all, or you could just do nothing, but once again, that makes the problem worse. And even when there's no emergency, the stress is still there. The stress of just knowing that if something happens, you're screwed. The stress of getting denied when you apply for something you need. It's the stress of seeing other people move forward while you're stuck. Now, compare that to someone with good credit. They have the same emergency, car breaks down, unexpected bill comes up. They're not worried because they have options. They can put it on a 0% interest credit card for 12 months and just make the small minimum payments. They can get a small personal loan at 6% interest. They can tap into a line of credit. They can handle it without panicking, without scrambling, and without stress. That's the difference between strong credit and weak credit. Strong credit gives you flexibility and financial freedom. Weak credit forces you into panic decisions that make your situation 10 times worse. And most people don't feel the stress until they actually need access to credit. When everything is just fine and flowers and butterflies, bad credit feels like a non-issue. The moment life throws something at you, that's when you realize how trapped you really are. Here's the other thing. Bad credit doesn't just affect you emotionally. It affects you physically. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety, depression, and health problems. It affects your sleep. It affects your relationships. It affects your ability to focus at work. When you're constantly one emergency away from a disaster that's gonna take a huge toll on your life, and it's not just in your head, it's real, that brings a heavy burden. So point number 4, bad credit increases stress and financial instability. It takes away from your safety net, forces you into panic decisions, and creates constant underlying anxiety that affects every part of your life. Good credit gives you peace of mind, bad credit keeps you on the edge. Last but certainly not least, point number 5. And this is the one that most people miss, so pay attention. Bad credit shrinks your future, even if today feels just fine. And here's what I mean. Right now you might be thinking, yeah, my credit's not that great, but like I'm doing okay. I'm getting by. It's not that big of a deal. And look, I get it. If you're not actively trying to buy a house or get a loan right now, bad credit feels like a distant problem. It's not hurting you today, so it doesn't feel urgent, whatever. But here's the truth. Bad credit doesn't hurt you when everything's going according to plan. It hurts you when opportunity shows up. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're working a job. You're making decent money and everything is stable. Your credit's bad, but it doesn't matter because you're not applying for anything. Then an opportunity comes up. Maybe it's a promotion that requires you to relocate and you need to qualify for a new apartment in a new city. Or maybe it's a new business opportunity where you could partner with someone, but you need a small loan to buy in. Or maybe it's a chance to invest into real estate, but you need to get approved for a mortgage. You see, these opportunities don't announce themselves months in advance. They show up and you have a small window to act fast. And the people who can act fast are the ones who win. But if your credit is bad, you can't act fast. You have to pause, fix your credit, wait, apply again, and hope you get approved. And by the time you're ready, the opportunity is probably gonna be gone. Someone else moved faster, someone else with better credit took advantage of the moment that you couldn't. And that's how bad credit shrinks your future. It doesn't stop you from living day to day. It stops you from seizing opportunities when they matter the most. Here's another way to think about it. Credit is leverage. Leverage allows you to move faster, grow faster, and build financial freedom. It's a cycle. People with good credit can get funding to invest into real estate and start building passive income. People with bad credit can't, so they stay stuck trading up their time for money for the rest of their lives. People with good credit can get approved for a business line of credit to start and scale their business quickly. People with bad credit have to bootstrap absolutely everything and grow way slower. People with good credit can refinance high interest debt, free up hundreds and even sometimes thousands of dollars a month, while people with bad credit are stuck with those high payments forever. You see, the difference isn't just about today. It's about what you can build over the next 5, 10, or 20 years. And here's the thing. Most people don't lose because they're broke. They lose because they can't move fast enough when opportunities appear. The person who's been building their credit, even when they didn't need it, are the ones who are ready when the moment comes. The person who ignored their credit because it didn't feel urgent at the time, they're the ones that are going to be stuck watching the opportunities pass them by. So even if today feels fine and you're just getting by, your bad credit is quietly shrinking your future. It's limiting what you'll be able to do when it matters. It's slowing down your progress. And every day that passes is another day you're falling behind people who actually took credit seriously. So to overview, point number 5, bad credit shrinks your future even if today feels fine. It doesn't hurt until opportunity shows up, and by then, it's already too late. So let's recap what we covered in this entire video. Point number 1, bad credit is costing you thousands of dollars without you realizing it. You're paying more for cars, homes, insurance, everything. And that's all just because your credit score is too low. Point number 2, bad credit limits your options, not just your approvals. It traps you in worse deals and takes away your negotiating power. Point number 3, bad credit delays major life moves. You're ready to move forward, but your credit is holding you back, sometimes for weeks, months, and even years. Point number 4, bad credit increases stress and financial instability. It takes away from your safety net and forces you into panic decisions. And point number 5, bad credit shrinks your future, even if today feels just fine. It stops you from seizing opportunities when they show up. So here's what I want you to do next. Look, if you're serious about fixing your credit and stopping it from holding you back, go to the description of this video right now and click the first link. It'll take you directly to my Instagram. Send me a private message and we'll have a personal conversation about where you're at right now and how me and my team can possibly help you. Or just click the second link in the description to book a call directly with me and my team, and we'll walk you through exactly what it looks like to work together with us to get your credit fixed once and for all through our premium services. Don't let bad credit steal another year of your life. Don't let it cost you another opportunity. Take action today. And if you got value from this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting me know which point hit the hardest for you. I read and respond to every single comment. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.